Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I am doing something completely out of the box today, no pun intended, and I am making some dog treats for our new addition. This is Honey. If you've seen any of my most recent videos, you know that we have just added her to our family and she is the perfect addition. We absolutely adore her. Honey is 12 weeks old now, and we got her when she was 8 weeks, so we've had her a month. And she is already housebroken. She's already sitting, staying, laying, fetching, retrieving, and coming when we call. And to me, that's the most important thing. You definitely want your dog to come to you when you call their name, and she is so good at that. Well, Honey is my third schnauzer, and my last schnauzer, Coco, was a perfect love. If there was ever a perfect dog created, in my world, that was Coco. We were soul companions for many years. I was single, and I'm so thankful that the Lord waited until Jimmy and I married before he took her home. And a lot of the reason why Coco left so early, she was 10 when she died, was because I didn't always feed her the right things. We didn't know back then what we know now about byproducts and fillers, and of course getting things in from other countries. We don't know what has been added. So I definitely want to be smart with Honey, and I want her to live for a long time. Now, these puppy treats are so easy to make, and they're so inexpensive. This will be my second batch. And a batch makes about 350 treats. I spread the love with my last batch, and I'm going to do it again with this batch. But it costs less than $3. And Honey absolutely loves them. I'll show you at the end of this video what she will do for one of those treats. And what these call for is a can of 100% pumpkin, not pie filling, but 100% pumpkin. This is just the store brand. It's 100% all natural ingredients, and this costs 89 cents. I'm also using an all natural creamy peanut butter. Any will do, just make sure that it is all natural, that it doesn't have any, if you hear that, that is Honey's bell. We're teaching her right now how to ring the bell when she goes out, and she and the bell are in a war right now. Honey. Honey, do you love your bell? Oh my goodness, never a dull moment with this one around. Back to business. I'm using all natural peanut butter. Just make sure when you read the ingredients on the jar that it's all natural, that you know exactly what they are. No artificial sweeteners, no sorbitols, no anything like that. It's toxic to your dog. So you definitely want to make sure that it's just simple, easy ingredients. And to sweeten that up a little bit, adding a couple of tablespoons of honey. I've got 2 eggs, whole wheat flour, and some rolled oats. That is it. And outside of the eggs and the pumpkin, this, I don't know how many batches of dog treats this will make. I'll let you know when they're gone. Well, I've got my mixer here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is add my wet ingredients. I'm going to get this pumpkin in here. You know, if you've got little ones and they get a hold of the dog treats, this is definitely for human consumption. Now, you may not want it because it doesn't have all the sugary stuff that us humans like, but I tasted some of the last batch and they were actually good. Well, I've got my pumpkin in here. There we go. And I am going to add my eggs. I've got 2 eggs, and that goes right in there. And I'm adding about a half of a cup of peanut butter. The recipe calls for a half a cup, but I don't think Honey will mind if I add a little bit more. This dog loves peanut butter, and so do I. So that is not a bad thing. Just put that right in. And then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of honey. Honey for my honey. And I don't think she would mind if I got a little extra of that in there. You can eliminate the honey, but why would you want to do that? And see, all of that just goes right in the bowl. You don't have to use a mixer for this. You can definitely do it by hand, but hey, I've got it, so why not use it? I'm using my paddle attachment, and I'm just going to put this on low speed until it's all mixed together. I think that's just right. It already smells good. When Honey sees one of these treats, she literally goes nuts for them. She loves them. And if I were to give her a store-bought treat right now, she would turn her nose up at it. Now, I'm adding a half of a cup of the rolled oats. And those go right in. And I'm also adding 2.5 cups of this whole wheat flour. The whole wheat is just better for the dogs. And that's going to go right in. I don't have to add it little by little. It all goes in at one time. And I'm starting out with 2.5 cups. Sometimes you might have to add a little bit more. Just depends on how big your eggs are. That is ready to go. I'm going to continue to mix this at low speed until the dough starts forming a ball and it pulls away from the bowl. Here we go. That looks perfect. Look at that. And now comes the fun part. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the flour, and just like you would make cookies or anything else, I'm sprinkling a little bit of this right down on my board. And let's get this dough out. Look at that. If you could smell it, you would not believe how good it smells. I think if I added a little bit of sugar to this, it would be perfect pumpkin peanut butter cookies. See how easy this is coming off? It's nice and dry. And that's exactly what we want. Now, if you don't want to use pumpkin, you sure don't have to. A great substitute for the pumpkin is a baked sweet potato. Just make sure that it's a large one, and you can definitely substitute that. Now, I've got my rolling pin, and I don't know why I keep putting my flour up. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit more of this right on the top and go ahead and just get it evened out a little bit where it'll roll better. I'm going to make these about 1/2 inch thick. A little bit more here. Here we go. Now I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And I've got some cookie cutters. And I've got a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. I'm not using any oil or anything because these will not stick, which is another thing I like about these treats. I'm going to roll this out just a little bit thinner. And I'm going to start out making some different shapes. And then at the end, once I start rolling my dough up with my leftovers, I'll roll it up, roll it out, I'll cut squares, and that works good too. I got these tiny little cookie cutters at the dollar store, and they're really the perfect size for Honey. Right now, because she's just a puppy, I'm doing really small treats. So there's my first one, and I'm just gonna pop these out on my baking sheet, just like that, and just pop them out. And like I said, of this size, I can get 300 to 350 treats, and that's a lot. And obviously, I will not use my cookie cutter for all of those because that would be quite labor intensive, and I just don't have that much time today. So I am going to make some cute ones just because I like the way they look. And also, I'm giving some of these away. My cousin has a Chihuahua that is 18 years old. Her name is Lily, and she can barely see. She can't hear very well, and she's also missing a lot of her teeth. So she needs something soft and small, and these are perfect for her. And so I want to make them cute for Lily Precious and her mama, Tammy. Well, I'll keep doing this. And I'll see you back here in a minute when I start rolling this dough up. Okay, I have cut out all that I'm going to cut out. So the next batch is going to be much easier. Get a little bit more of my flour, and I'm going to turn this over, get some on the back, and do the same thing that I did before. And roll them out. Doesn't have to be perfect. Honey doesn't mind if they're not beautiful treats. She just wants them to taste good, and I want them to be healthy. So I'm going to grab my knife, and I'm going to cut these in small squares, about the same size that my cutouts are. My first schnauzer was Gidget. Now, I have to say that my mother was not a fan of Gidget. As a matter of fact, I think Gidget turned my mother off to dogs, period. She was a family dog, and what I mean by that was she ended up going through every member of our family. It started off with my uncle, and then she came to us, and Gidget was with us for a few years. Then she went to my Aunt Ann, and she finally ended up with my Aunt Nancy. Those are my dad's sisters. And she lived a good, long life with my Aunt Nancy. And unfortunately, Gidget could not be an inside dog because she was not housebroke, and she decided that she didn't ever want to be housebroke. Therefore, that's why my mom didn't care for Gidget too much. But I absolutely loved her, and I have loved Schnauzers ever since. They are such amazing, intelligent dogs. They do not shed. They're hypoallergenic, or that's what they call them these days. They don't lose their coat. And they're just amazingly smart animals. And they're called the happy dog. And they are definitely that. So fun, so obedient, so sweet. When my husband and I decided that we were going to get another one, I searched high and low for a good breeder, and I found the best, called Love My Schnauzers appropriately, and I'm just amazed. I cannot say enough good things. She breeds them to make sure that they have good genetic qualities, and just amazing. Now I'm putting this all over my cookie sheet. I'm hoping that I can cook them in one batch. We'll see. Since these don't have any oil in them except for what is naturally in the peanut butter and in the pumpkin, and there's no leaven, there's no yeast or baking powder, they're not going to rise, so they're pretty much going to stay the same shape that they start out with. So that's kind of nice. But you want to make sure that they're all pretty much the same size. That way they bake evenly. Look at that. I can't believe I did it. And look how many treats this is made. If I were to go and buy this at some specialty pet shop, I have no idea how much I would pay. I have bought a thing or two from the specialty shops. You go and they have this big glass window and you look at all the dog treats and they look like human treats. You think, oh boy, I want some of that. But they're expensive. And these cost less than a box of milk buns. Okay, there we go. That is done. Now, these are going to cook for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. I don't want them to turn too brown, but I do want them to cook through. So in they go. I'm going to put my timer at 15 minutes, and then I'll check them and I'll see how they do. I'm going to clean up a mess, and when these are done, I'll show you what I'm going to do next. My treats are ready. Oh, they smell like cookies. If my husband walks through the door right now, he is going to be quite disappointed that I am making Honey these treats and not him, although he's welcome to have all that he wants. Now, these need to cool completely, and they're soft right now, but as they cool, they'll harden up just a bit. These are a softer treat, and I like them that way because I can break them in half or quarters when I don't want to give Honey a whole one, and especially when we're in a training session. But if you'd like a harder treat, then keep them in the oven a little bit longer. Just make sure that they don't burn. I would say 30 minutes is probably going to be tops for these size treats. Now I am going to let these cool a little while, and I'll show you something that I'm doing for my cousin. I told you I'm giving Lily some of these treats, so I picked up this little jar and some stickers to go on the jar. As a matter of fact, I used some of the stickers on my apron today. Made a little puppy apron. Now I am going to use this one for my cousin because I think she'll love that. It's called It's a Dog Thing. And I'm going to take that and put it right here. Isn't that cute? And I'll take one of these paw prints and put that right on top. Now, if you went to a store, I'm not sure how much you would pay for this, but I went to Hobby Lobby, got the stickers 50% off. I think for all of these, which I've already used several, both of these packages cost me $3. They were $1.50 a piece. And this cost me $1. So it's a no-brainer for me. And look at these treats. Definitely need sugar, but Honey loves them. But look how easy they are. They just break right in two, and that's going to be perfect.
Hey baby, something smells good.
They are honey treats. You're welcome to have one.
Oh no, I thought they were for me.
They are for you if you want them, but Honey will definitely want you to share.
I'll pass.
Okay, okay.
Thank you anyway.
You're welcome. I'll make you some cookies, baby.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. All right, well, I am going to take some of these and put them in my little jar. Now, these definitely have a shelf life. These will last at room temperature in an airtight container for about 4 or 5 days. But what I did with my last batch was put them in a Ziploc baggie. You know I love the Ziploc baggies. And put them in my freezer. And I just take out handfuls as I need them and put them in my little jar for Honey. There we go. I think Lily Precious is going to like these. What do you think about that? It's a whole bunch of those treats, huh? Thank you so much for joining me today. You are such a blessing. I appreciate you more than you know. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Press that like button. Let's see if she likes them. I would say that says it all. I hope you have a blessed day. You're such a blessing to me. And I think I'm gonna go be a blessing to Honey real quick. Oh my goodness, I'll tell you what. Come here, let's show them. Sit. Can you sit? Good girl. Lay, lay. Good girl. Oh, I just love this little thing. I'll see you next time.